Last train rode in just before the morning rain. Same rust on the platform, but nothing felt the same. The cafe where Mama smiled was boarded up with dust. The church bell still kept ringing, for people turned to rust. I walk these streets like someone wearing another man's old shoes. Every corner held a memory, singing worn-out blues. The mailbox bore a number that nobody could read. Even the old oak tree forgot it once knew me. Mr. Carter's bar still carried whiskey on the air, but strangers filled the stools where my old friends used to swear. The jukebox played so softly, like it pitied every soul, while photographs upon the wall remembered growing old. My father's fishing jacket still hung behind the door, waiting for the hands that won't come back anymore. I poured one drink for yesterday, one drink for all I've known, then raised another quietly to everyone now gone. I'm riding on the last train home, searching for a place that's already gone. Every mile steals another name, every window whispers who's to blame. The tracks keep singing underneath, like they remember every dream. If home still lives somewhere tonight, it ain't where these old rails still ride. Never asked me where I'd been all these years. It simply carried yesterday beneath its quiet tears. I found my brother's pocket knife beneath the bridge we'd built, still covered by the fingerprints of childhood dreams and guilt. The wind knew every secret that I buried in this town, blowing through the empty fields where love was once found. Some roads don't disappear, they simply wait in silence until an old fool comes around. Keep soul train stations, maybe everybody waits there. Mama pouring coffee, daddy fixing broken chairs. Maybe every goodbye was only borrowed time. Maybe every lonely mile was leading me back to what I couldn't find. like another reason not to cry. If tomorrow asks me where I've been, tell it I finally came back again. Though every face has turned to stone, the last train still remembers home. So if you hear a whistle long after midnight's gone, don't say somebody's leaving. It might be someone finally coming home.
There's an old white house on Willow Creek Road, paint peeling away where the summer winds blow. The porch still leans like daddy after 12-hour days, and mama's wind chimes still remember her praise. The mailbox hangs crooked with letters long gone, like it gave up believing we'd all come home. Every step on the floor tells a story out loud. Even silence feels like family now. Daddy left his hammer beside the back shed, a pair of worn-out boots underneath the bed. Mama's favorite apron still hangs by the stove, holding the smell of the bread she once broke. The hallway keeps echoes of children at play before life scattered us 1,000 miles away. We thought we'd have forever, that's what young hearts believe. Nobody warns you how quietly families leave. This house still calls my name, though nothing here remains the same. Every cracked window, every broken frame still knows exactly who I am. The walls may fall, the roof may bend, but memories never reach an end. Home isn't built with wood and stone, it's the people you can never bring back home. My little brother carved our names into the oak, promising we'd never let that family chain be broke. Now the tree stands taller than anything we've known, watching generations fade like leaves already blown. The kitchen clock stopped years ago at 3:15, the moment life changed for this family. Somebody forgot to wind tomorrow, so yesterday stayed behind. If these walls could sing, it'd sound just like Mama humming. If these floors could cry, they'd tell where Daddy fell. Every nail, every picture frame, every room still whispers a family name. This house still holds my soul, even though time is taking its toll. I close the door, but leave the light just in case love finds its way home tonight. The world keeps moving, the years keep rolling by, but Willow Creek still raises this old child. When they finally tear this old place down, the lumber won't be all they carry away, because every board, every brick, every broken window still belongs to yesterday.
Friday found me sitting where the neon lights grow dim. That little corner table still keeps a seat for him. The bartender quit asking if you're walking through that door. He simply pours the whiskey like 100 times before. The jukebox knows my heartbeat, every crack inside my soul, playing songs about old lovers who never made it home. Outside rain keeps falling in on the same forgotten street, while every drop reminds me of the night we chose to leave. I still wear this old brown jacket you said looked best on me. Now the sleeves are full of memories no one else can see. Your coffee cup still waits at home beside an empty chair. Dust has learned your name because you're never sitting there. The waitress smiles with pity every time she walks on by, leaving 2 clean glasses, though she knows the reason why. One for me to drown my past, one for you to never touch. Funny how an empty glass can still be holding us. Raise another empty whiskey glass to the love that never came back. Every sip burns slower than before. Still I hear you walking
forgetting had a price. I'd gladly pay it twice, but every bottle only shows a face I used to know. The old guitar beside me carries scratches from those days. Every mark another promise, time quietly erased. I played your favorite melody until my fingers bled, trying to wake the ghosts that sleep inside my aching head. Midnight wrapped its blanket around this lonely room. Even silence sounded like your old perfume. Some people leave with luggage, some leave with every piece of the man they used to love. Maybe tomorrow I'll finally order one glass. Maybe tomorrow your memory won't ask me to stay. Maybe tomorrow the mirror won't know my name. But tonight the whiskey still remembers everything I can't forget. Raise another empty whiskey glass. Here's to every dream that couldn't last. Every shadow dances with your smile, keeping me here just a little while. If loving you was wrong, then why is it still this strong? The bottle reaches empty once again, but this old heart never does. When they lock these old bar doors and sweep the floor clean of the night, they'll find one untouched glass waiting, just in case you ever come back.
This old guitar's been leaning by the fireplace for years, covered up in dust and stained with dried up tears. Daddy used to play it every Sunday after church, singing songs about hope when life began to hurt. His fingers danced like rivers across those worn out strings, turning little wooden notes into beautiful things. Now the silence fills the house where the music used to stay, and every chord reminds me why he slipped away.
Mama kept his rocking chair beside the window pane, waiting every evening, though he never came again. The doctor's words were quiet. The winter came too fast. Nobody ever tells you when a song becomes your last. I found his old tobacco tin beneath the bedroom floor, along with faded photographs of days that live no more. Every wrinkle in those pictures carries another goodbye, like autumn leaves still holding the color of July. There's dust on Daddy's guitar, but I still hear him play. Every lonely note keeps calling, though he's been gone for days. If heaven has a front porch, I know he's sitting there, teaching every angel how to sing away despair. Tonight I tune those old strings for the very first time. My hands felt too young for a life that's lived this long. The wood still smelled of cedar, the neck still fit my hand, like Daddy never really left. He just changed where he stands. Outside the moon climbs slowly over fields of faded gold, and somewhere in the distance I swear I heard his soul. Maybe love ain't measured by the years we're standing near. Maybe it's the music that outlives every tear. People say time heals, but time don't know these roads. Time never sat beside him, listening to those old blues. Time never watched a father teach his boy to dream. Time only counts the moments. Music keeps them breathing. There's dust on Daddy's guitar, but not upon his name. Every string still carries the fire of his flame. One day when this road is over and my own soul reaches the sky, I'll hand this old guitar back and thank him for teaching me how to cry. So if you hear a lonely guitar floating through the midnight air, it might not be the wind, it might just be a father still playing for his son. Every Friday by the old brick station, I unfold my chair with quiet patience. Streetlights wake before the stars come through, and this old sax still sings for you. Folks toss coins without knowing my name. Some clap their hands, some miss the train. But every note I breathe tonight is searching through the city lights. 20 years have washed this sidewalk clean. Still I stand where you were last seen. You were just a little girl holding my hand before life scattered us like drifting sand. Now strangers know my melody, but not the reason it still follows me. Every sunset starts another show for someone who may never know. Winter wrapped these streets in silver gray. Still I came here every single day. Summer melted into autumn leaves. Hope kept living up my sleeve. The cafe lady saves me coffee black. Says, oh man, she ain't coming back. I smile because she cannot see. Some promises outlive memory. My saxophone wears scratches deep, each one a secret I still keep. One came from a rainy night, one from holding you too tight, another from the day the court said love could fit inside a report. They took more than a father's name. They took tomorrow just the same. When the saxophone cries, nobody hears the words inside. It's only breaths, it's only air, until a broken heart is breathing there. Every lonely note takes flight, looking for you every night. If you ever hear this song someday, you'll know your father never walked away. Tonight a little girl stopped to dance, spinning circles without a chance to know the tune her feet had found was built from dreams that never drowned. She laughed the way you used to laugh before this world split us in half. For just one moment time stood still, long enough for my heart to heal. Then she waved and crossed the street, leaving silence at my feet. Funny how a stranger's smile can carry you another mile. Maybe that's the way love stays, borrowing different faces, keeping old musicians alive, one song at a time. If heaven lets music travel farther than words, then maybe every solo finds the ones we lost. Maybe every blue note crosses every sea. Maybe somewhere you're humming this melody without remembering me. When the saxophone cries, I don't hide these old eyes. The city keeps moving, the people move on, but this melody keeps proving love can outlive everything. final tune. Until then, every Friday night I'll still be here, playing for you. So if you pass an old musician on a cold downtown street, don't just hear the music, listen closely. Some songs are somebody's family, trying to find its way home.
There was a time these hands could fill every crowded room with songs. Friday nights, bright neon lights, the whole world sang along. Every stage became my home, every highway knew my name. Somewhere between one more encore, I forgot why I came. You waited by that little porch, coffee warming in your hands. Every promise that I made was buried by another band. I kept saying just one more tour, then I'll finally settle down. Now that old front porch still stands, but you're nowhere around. Never tells a man the things he's leaving behind. It only shines where people cheer, not on a lonely mind. Every motel looked the same, every crowd became a blur. The louder that they called my name, the less I heard yours. I found your wedding photograph inside an old guitar case. Your smile still looked at me like time had never changed your face. I kissed the picture one last time, then held it to my chest. Funny how a piece of paper can outlive happiness. The applause faded first, then the lights went dark. The crowd forgot my name, but you still own my heart. Every standing ovation couldn't bring you back. Now all that's left is this old guitar and a suitcase full of what I lack. Tonight I'm playing one more show for 30 folding chairs. Some folks came to hear the blues,
Some came to escape their cares. I sang our song the way I used to, though my voice has grown so thin. Halfway through I closed my eyes, and you walked in again. Not in flesh, not in time, only somewhere in my soul. You smiled the way you always did, making broken pieces whole. When the final chord had faded, the room stood still somehow. I opened up these tired old eyes, and only silence bowed. If success could buy back yesterday, I'd trade every record on the wall, every headline, every photograph, every curtain call, because love was always worth more than every song I wrote. I just learned that lesson, one goodbye too late. The applause faded first, but regret stayed behind. The stage belongs to strangers now, the memories are mine. If heaven has a little club where old musicians play, save me one empty chair. I'll finally come home and never walk away. When people ask what my greatest song was, I'll never mention the records. I'll simply whisper, it was her. It was her.
Every morning starts the same, coffee brewing, calling my name. The kitchen clock still ticks away, though nobody asks about my day. This old house breathes slow at dawn, holding on though everyone's gone. The pictures hanging on the wall know every rise before the fall. The porch still faces County Road, watching every truck that rolls. Sometimes I wave before I know there's strangers I don't even know. Funny how an empty chair can make a room feel twice as bare. Still I leave the front light on, just in case somebody comes. My little girl loves summer rain, running barefoot down the lane. My oldest boy could fix most things, except the hurt that growing brings.
pulled them beyond this town, following dreams I never found. I never blamed them for the miles. That's what children do sometimes. Christmas cards arrive each year, filled with smiles that aren't quite here. Grandkids growing way too fast, trying to stretch a moment's past. Every letter ends the same: "We'll come soon, Dad." Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Love keeps believing anyway. There's still a light inside my window, burning through the longest nights. Not because I'm scared of darkness, but because hope deserves a light. If tomorrow brings somebody home, they'll never have to knock alone. As long as these old hands can reach, that light will always shine for me. Yesterday the neighbor's boy stopped to help me split some wood. We laughed about the old days, like two old friends somehow could. Before he left, he shook my hand and said, "You're stronger than you know." Maybe strength ain't lifting weight, maybe it's learning to let go. The evening settles soft and slow, like songs my mother used to know. The stars still find this little place, no matter how the years erase. Some folks measure life by gold, some by stories they can tell. If that's true, then I've lived rich, though nobody could ever tell. When I finally leave this world, don't cry because the house grew still. Open every window wide, let the morning cross the hill. Tell the children love was never measured by how long we stayed, but by how deeply we remain. There's still a light inside my window, even when these eyes grow dim. Love has never left this house, it simply learned another hymn. One day every road comes home, every child remembers where they're from. Until that day, this old front porch will keep a light for everyone. If you ever pass a lonely house at night and notice one small light, maybe someone inside isn't waiting for company. Maybe they're waiting for one more memory. 30 winters I chased your shadow down every road this old town knew. Every passing train, every pouring rain somehow carried me back to you. I wore out boots on broken sidewalks, called your name beneath streetlights. Thought if I searched just long enough, love might still be waiting tonight. But the years of quiet voices, they teach what tears never could. Some doors were only borrowed, some endings were for good. Yesterday I found your letter hidden in an old blue coat. The ink had faded with the seasons, but every word still gently spoke. You said, don't spend your life living inside of yesterday. If you ever truly love me, promise me you'll find your way. I folded up that paper slowly, held it underneath the sky. Then for the very first time I thanked the past, instead of asking why. When the morning finally came, the pain no longer knew my name. The sun reached places rain once stayed. Even broken hearts can find their way. Love never really leaves, it simply changes where it lives. Some stories are meant to start again. They're meant to teach us how to live. I walked back down to River Street, where we carved our names in June. The tree had grown another lifetime, stretching higher toward the moon. Our little initials disappeared, hidden deep beneath the bark. Just like love, it never vanished. It simply became part of something larger than the heart. Children laughed beside the water, young musicians played nearby. One old man smiled and tipped his hat, as if he somehow knew why. I finally wasn't searching, I was simply passing through. Sometimes healing comes the moment you stop asking it to. If tomorrow never knows my name, I've already had enough. I've seen heartbreak, I've known mercy, I've learned the weight of love. Every scar became a chapter, every goodbye shaped my soul. Even the darkest midnight helped the morning find me whole. When the morning finally came, I wasn't waiting anymore. No more ghosts beside my window, no more footsteps at the door. The road ahead feels different now, not because the past is gone, but because I finally learned carry yesterday without living there for long. If you ever hear an old blues singer smiling, listen carefully. He's not singing because life was easy. He's singing because he survived it. And somehow that became